Welcome to another episode of Peers Over Beers, your favorite digital and social evangelist podcast, with your industry veteran hosts, Michael Sandoval and Chris Tetzel. This podcast starts now. Hello, welcome to another episode of Peers Over Beers. I am one of your hosts, Michael Sandoval.
And I'm Chris Detzel.
Hello, Chris. How are you?
Man, I've been super busy. How about you?
Yeah, no, we were just talking about it. Well, I'm doing fine. Thank you for asking. No, we were just talking about you a little bit before we started, and we started getting into business and how, you're kickstarting some stuff and kind of kicking ass and taking names, as they say. And I was like, oh, we should probably record this.
Yeah, start recording some of that.
To start off, you had talked about that. To bring folks up to speed, you're greenfielding a new community for a company called Rialto. Was that correct?
Reltio.
Rialto, sorry. It's the emphasis on the wrong syllable. Right. Okay. And one of the things I've been very interested is how you've quickly come to a conclusion of the platform you're going to use, and you're already down to and by the way, you're 4 weeks in, right?
That's it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I closed the platform last week. So,
And not only you did that, you also started collecting content, and you just got off a call with IT and security. And I heard
security and legal.
Oh, security and legal. Sorry. And yeah, okay, two very, very tough folks to deal with. And they came out saying, "We'll do what you need, Chris, to help you out."
Well, okay. In fairness, but let's not go that far. So what I did say though was
usually conversations with those two folks in the same room are a little droll.
I thought that too, but what's really cool about Reltio? Let's just talk about kind of the quick culture, right? Like it's pretty cool because they know we have to move fast. They're about working together and getting these things done. They've never done this before, so they do have to. And because of community, I was told this today by our legal person. They have to change some of the T's and C's that are even on the website and some other things that they have to do because of community. But he has no problem with it. He was like, and it's fine. We need to move. We need to change. We need to do these things. And as I was having these conversations with legal and security.
I hear those words, man, and I'm like, oh, okay.
Yeah. I
Sorry.
thought so too, but it was an hour long. And plus, I've had a lot of conversations with them separately over this last 3 weeks. Because when you close, let's go backwards. When you close or when you start talking to a vendor, we decided to go with a vendor called Higher Logic. It's my second stint with them. I mean, I don't think that is a big deal to say. But in every organization you go to, you have to now think about, and especially like when I was at Imperva and now Reltio, neither one of them had online communities. So this is a new thing. And so there's T's and C's. So, who's going to have access? How do they get access? Does this affect the current customers' contracts? If it does, we can't pull those people in, and then there's security audits that the platform has to go through. And during these security audits, do they have this particular certification? Do they have all kinds of stuff, and so you have to make sure you go through all that, and it's normal. And so the nice thing is that whatever they say, I know we can get through it because I've already gone through this. And there was one instance where legal was like, well, if they don't agree to this, and it's a no-go, and you got to start looking at vendors. And I'm like, hold up, man, let's just go back to them and see what we can do. And we worked it all out, and so for me, I've been very calm through this, but I've been going as fast as I can. So that's done. And then we had another conversation today. It was around, look, SSO is highly important for us but there's technical reasons why it's hard to do at the minute. But at the same time, can you upload all your users to the platform, and how do we go about do that? And what's the security risk? Not just security, but the legal risk. And some of the legal risk could be something like, some people in their contracts have that they that something about their data or whatever can't be sent over to something else or whatever. So it was just a lot of questions around, what are you going to do with this? What are you going to do with that? But the nice thing about Reltio, legal and security, is that they're willing to work with you and they want to get this done. They're actually excited to see community. And I'm like, really? Like you're excited to see this? This
Wait,
is
wait, wait,
great.
wait, wait.
So let's
Wait, wait.
just get this done, and
This is
they're
we're going
willing.
back to for a moment.
And it's a big priority for Reltio. So
Again, I know I mean to just interrupt you, but there's this the security and legal guys were excited for community.
yeah, they're pretty excited about it. I think that one, our CEO is uh is the one. I wouldn't say he's driving it, but he knows how important community is. Two, my boss even told me, he goes, Chris, no pressure here, but you know, community is going to change our culture. It will change the culture.
Well, it
Um,
always does, right?
Yeah. Well, just think the way we communicate in a digital way. Look, for me, community SEO is one of the biggest thing that it's going to drive for our customers. And I think we've talked about a lot about that in the past. I don't have to beat that horse, but that is the big digital disruption for Reltio, a big part of it. You know, and it's disruption a little bit for us because we've never done it, and the way we engage and interact with our customers and partners is going to be highly important. So I'll be very interested to see how we do that in the future.
When you look at some of your competitors,
Yep,
which I'm sure you have,
I have.
uh, how are they on the community front?
They have one. They've had one. IBM's a big competitor for the MDM
Oh yeah, they have a
space.
huge community. Yeah,
Well, they have different communities in the different spaces. You know what I mean?
yeah,
So they have a
like
security one that
yeah.
competed with Imperva. They have a master data management that it competes with us. They have everything. So yeah, they have. It's not just it's huge communities. Actually, and then Informatica is one of our big competitors.
Oh gosh, I
And
forgot about it.
yeah, they have. I don't know if it's Thrive. Like I've looked at it and I can't really judge that well. To be honest, how their community is called Network Informatica or something like that. Just type in community or community informatica or
I'm looking
whatever.
at it.
I mean, it doesn't look look and feel doesn't look amazing, but it's it, people are engaging and doing stuff, so it's not like it's not being used. So you know, but for them, they've had community. I don't know who their I know who IBM's main community leader is. I don't know who the one for Informatica. I've looked them up, but I couldn't find them.
Mhm.
Um, so yeah, I mean, we're moving, man. We're looking at going live potentially within the next couple of months. But today I had a call also with the the company that's developing and providing UX wireframes and stuff like that. So that's kicked off today. Um, Kicked off kind of my strategy meeting with Higher Logic to talk about, they help me with strategy. They can do some interviews and stuff like that,
Mhm.
internally and externally. So that's being kicked off. I mean, I kind of already have a strategy in place, but to make it cleaner and uh, just cleaner, Higher Logic does a lot of good stuff, PowerPoint stuff, whatever.
Are
Um,
you working with them for the UI?
No, they don't do that. You can put that in the contract that this other company called eConverse, they do that. eConverse Media they've built several um, higher logic communities, right?
Mm.
That's all they do is higher logic communities. And so, I used them last time at Imperva, so they do a really good job and they have some really good ideas. Um, and so, you know, they, they'll have a lot of stuff done. Like they gave me three examples of communities, and I took. Yes, I want that for that community, and then went to another one. I want that, and then the next community, I want this. You know what I
Mm,
mean? And so
yeah.
it's going to look
So
really good.
that's interesting. So now that you've, it sounded like you were kind of doing a cafeteria approach of things that you need or want.
Yeah. Well, they can do it. I'm like, well, so I'll give you an example. Like, there's this one. So they do. You can do a lot of great personalization and you know, things like that. And so, for example, you can create this way of like engaging customers. So, for example, you could say like, um, 10 people live in Dallas, Texas that are near you. So it pulls the data that, customers said that they live in Dallas, and it says 10 people, click here, and you can see all 10 people and you can connect to them on the community directly. So that's one.
Mm.
And I was like, oh, that's really good. Or how about the same product? These 80 people have the same product as you do. Connect to these people that have that
Mm.
same product. You know what I mean? And then you connect them. There's a chat function, or it's really like email inside the platform itself. So you can
Right, right, right.
do all kinds of personalization. And so I'm trying to take as much personalization as I can. And so also, when you first log in, instead of going to your main profile, it kind of puts your profile at kind of the top, right? And it says something like your inbox has 20 things, and then you could even do like little buttons that say, now this is more of a development piece that is extra, but you know, post a question, do these things. But I want to have these boxes that just are there that says post a question. It's really big, but then another box that says,
Mm.
look at these resource bundles, look at these blogs, or I don't know, whatever. But so yeah, I'm trying to. I think the hardest thing that you can possibly do, or the hardest thing within any community, is engagement. So how do you get customers
Mm.
to engage the most? Besides having it really big on, there's a lot of ways to do it. So personalization, having the call to actions, there as much as you can, that looks decent, stuff like that. So I don't know. That's I
No,
say
yeah,
a lot.
no, I do agree. Engagements are one of the toughest things, man. I mean, that's what it is. I mean, there's the whole that kind of brings the whole pyramid of engagement where you had, the lurkers, the contributors at the very very top, and I forget all the kind of striations in between. Uh, and what you want to do is to help those who just come in to see to become a contributor, right? We talked about the contribution path. Remember, we're like, oh, we need to get these guys and gals into contributors because that's what drives SEO. That's what drives all this kind of other stuff. And we used to measure. We were trying to, get an engagement by doing all these things, and it's just, it's that's the task. That's the task at hand. Uh,
And if you can build that in right off, that's really the key, I think.
and you speak very highly of their engagement types out of the box features, right? Like
Yeah.
like this one you
And you
just.
could do outside of the box too. But yeah, you do. Yeah, I do. It's well, okay. So when we use Telligent, it's not like I didn't like the platform. I mean, it has lots of, it's pretty robust. There's no doubt about
Mm.
it. But it was what it's not is it doesn't feel like a really good engagement platform, right? Because you have to build all that shit, right? Like what? I mean, all that stuff. It was so funny because so when I left Rexhour, before I left, we were building this whole kind of 30, 60, 90 day. If customers don't log in for 30 days, send them an
Mm.
email. That had to be built. Like it's not put into the platform. Like Jeff, our developer, had to go develop it within
Mm.
the platform to, if customers, if customers don't log in, go ask them to, log in for 30 days, ask them to do, add a photo or ask them to log in and do this.
Mhm.
So that's like basic shit that they should be doing and that the platform should do, like, so coming to Higher Logic, they have these things, and I mentioned this before. It's automation rules, and you can just build an automation rule that allows you to do that, like send emails to the last
Mm.
30 customers and it's just, I would get my person at Higher Logic to do it because I had that service. I was like, hey, let's do that. Let's change this email. You can do a lot of different things with those automation rules and personalizations. And then you can go build some stuff, if you just have JavaScript and CSS, which I do not, but still, that's not out of the box, but that is really cool and fancy. You know what I mean? Like you could do a lot of different things, but out of the box, you can just build those automation rules on your own, you know, almost anything you can think of from a
Yeah,
personalization
no, no,
standpoint, do it. So
yeah, no. There's no. I agree with you. I think the other thing to consider, however, is the size of your enterprise. So I think So I mean, I don't want to overcharacterize, but especially we'll call it right now in your current engagement, you're kind of a stand up, right? In other words, they've given you some autonomy to go what you need to go do.
Yeah.
In some big companies, there's a department that does email engagement. There's a department that does digital marketing. There's a department that does uh, user experience and digital marketing, right? So, in
We
some
have all
ways,
that.
the platform needs to be flexible to allow you to integrate with some of these systems, right? So, whilst they may have
That's true.
a stack internally, but like there's a CMS system called Site. Oh my gosh, not Sitefinity, Site. Oh, it'll come to me. But they have a
There's
very
things called
robust.
Marketo.
That's another one,
There's things
Marketo.
like
There's a lot
yeah,
of
no,
now, and there's a big sphere of something called marketing automation, and that's a
yeah,
new area. Not new. It's actually it's been around for a little bit, but it's becoming more robust, and it's becoming part of the digital marketing stack.
yes, big time, big time.
So why would you want to have and kind of over here community was which a lot of great robust information is happening, but yet you can't get into these automation things, right? So I think it's I mean it's just be careful. I mean, not you, but I mean I think there are some companies who are looking
Yeah.
at the integration piece.
It's a good point. Like Higher Logic does integrate with some of those systems for sure. Have a robust API to do all that, and I don't disagree with that. It all depends on what your goal is. And for
Agreed.
us,
That's exactly correct.
if you're a marketing department and that's all you use is a Marketo or whatever marketing automation platform you use, and you want to integrate that into your community, then yeah, you need to see if Higher Logic or whatever community platform has that ability and API to connect. So no doubt about it. But it's pretty robust and it's pretty. As a matter of fact, Higher Logic has an automation, a marketing automation thing that they bought, so they sell that separately. And so I don't know. I guess it all integrates together. Who knows? But I don't use that part, and it's a very good point, Michael. So yes, we even have Marketo and everything else, and so did the last job I had. So it's a good point, but I didn't think about it like that. I was like, I don't need it, you know. But if you want your
Right,
customers, that
that's the thing. You have the autonomy. Yeah, you have the autonomy. You have the thing you can go do. Honestly, for the way, because I know you very well, I know like being able to have the physical ability to just do the things you need to do just to get
yeah.
shit out the door almost makes it easy for you, right? Like I don't want to rely on some other folks. Just let me go do it.
But I've been working on that part because I think it's crucial to do the best you can to get people engaged. But that's where my struggle is, Michael. Is I get people to do a bunch of stuff. Like for example, uh, I posted on community hashtag community on our Slack channel. Hey, I'm looking for help, and I'm going to have a weekly call on the duties that need to be done or whatever. And I put together these list of tasks. You taught me to do like, years ago, right? Like say, these are all the things you got to go do. You put a name behind it, and then
There
it's
you
kind of like
go. Oh,
a
that sounds
Daisy
familiar.
model. It's like a Daisy
Yeah,
model in a sense, but
yeah.
uh, so I've done all that, and then when I had the call, you know, like 15 people showed up, and I'm like, holy shit, there's 15 people. Like I don't have tasks for all
They
15
actually
people,
showed up during the. Yeah,
and
I'm
I'm gonna
sorry to
have a
interrupt.
weekly
They actually.
call. So I got to figure out now, like, okay, because I'm used to working one on one with people, and I'm like, all right, well, that's interesting because somebody said after that call, hey, I just still don't know what to go do. I'm like, did you look at the list? Go to the list. It's like, go sign up for something. How else can I? But I didn't do a good job, of trying to, you know, I don't know, man. I have to because I have all my teams are going to be virtual no matter what. In general, at some point, maybe I'll get one or two people down the road, but the way I've always worked is by myself in a sense, and so uh, whether that's good or bad, I don't know, but I've got to figure out how to, bring people in. So I'm doing that more.
I think.
What's that?
Sorry, there may be like a slight phase. There may be a slight phase delay, but I was going to say there. I think the hardest type of being of managerial skills is virtual team managerial skills, influencing.
yeah, I feel like I'm good at that. But if I had to actually manage a bunch of people, between us and whoever listens to
Mm.
this, I don't know. Like, I wouldn't have like, okay, just go do your fucking job.
Yeah.
That's like, I don't. Here's my thoughts. Go do
It's
it.
honestly
You're an adult. You know, let's let's connect once a week. See where you are. See what you're doing. What else do you need? I mean, like, I'm there. I'm here to help and give my guidance, but for the most
do
part,
you need to start with a feeling word, Chris?
do what?
Do you need to start with a feeling word?
Yeah. I just like I'm big about doing your fucking job. Like let you're hired for some reason. I'm not saying like I do have empathy for people that if you hire them knowing that they need some work, you have to work on them. You have to give them what they need. But if I hire like somebody like Chris Detzel or Michael Sandoval, now I'm not saying we don't need help, we don't need direction, we do, but it's not
Of course.
hand holding anymore. You know what I mean? It's like, okay, Michael, you now report into the CEO of a bank, and do your fucking job. You know how to do it. I don't know how to do your job. The CEO is probably, I don't know how to do your job. That's why you're hired. So
Yeah.
anyway, hey, that could be the
Um,
name of this. Do your fucking job.
well, it was funny because I was starting to jot down like some of the because I know we always kind of go off the rail a bit, but like things we were talking about, like one was how you're kickstarting this new community, and people are coming around you to kind of help around. One coming to ask, not I'm not coming to ask, but coming voluntarily, if you will, in some way.
Yeah.
But one I thought the biggest wins on your side was to get security and legal. I mean, we can. I think the tone was a very positive tone, right? Usually those are very
Oh, it was very positive.
yeah, those are
Very positive.
conversations, which is great, right? And and especially for something that's new, like the way you're kind of telling me about it,
Yeah.
these are areas where it's hard for a company to kind of move outside of a comfort zone. So this is where those two are really good. We got into a lot of discussion around engagement. We didn't get
Hmm.
into chit chat around how you're kind of kickstarting that now. We talked a little bit before in the pre-game, I mean the pre-show, but
Yeah.
that was but again about this idea about using some of the automation tools inside, how hidden logic, I mean sorry, hidden logic, sorry, higher logic does that internally. We
Higher
talked a
logic.
little bit about how it depends where you want to put some of that marketing automation in some way. I'm sorry, we talk about market automation side, but the engagement tools from what you've told me, are pretty solid on their side as well. We did talk about the one in the box.
Yeah.
That's where I went to this idea of marketing automation. And then last but not least, my friend, the fact that people just do their fucking job.
Exactly.
Oh my goodness. Well,
I don't
Chris,
think we'll ever get sponsored. I don't think we'll ever get sponsored by some business because unless it's a beer company,
this is
uh, because we
when are we
say
gonna just
stupid
do
shit
your
like that.
fucking job?
Do your
Oh,
fucking job.
do your job, man. That's awesome, man. As always, I enjoy our chit chat, my friend. Thank you so very much. It was a pleasure talking with
All
you.
right, man.
All right, so thank you very much for another great episode of Peers Over Beers. I'm one of your hosts, Michael Sandoval.
And I'm Chris Detzel.
All right, talk to you later.